Hey friend, do you sit at a desk all day or you're driving in the car all day and it's causing your shoulders to round forward and make you feel hunched? Well, this quick routine is gonna undo all of that and open you up. In fact, these are exercises that you can do every day. Hey, before we get started, hit the subscribe button and let's get to it. Okay, let's get started actually down on the floor on your hands and knees. Let's position yourself with your shoulders right over your hands, knees right below your hips. We're gonna get your shoulders warm to begin with, and then that's gonna help us be able to stretch a little bit deeper with a little bit more intention, just bringing that awareness into all those posture muscles. So fingertips are spread. Let's spin your elbows backwards so that your elbow pits are pointing forward. And then in this position, without letting your elbows bend, we're gonna slide your shoulder blades together and then press them as far apart as you can, really splitting your shoulder blades apart. Then do that again. Let them slide together and then press them really far apart. We want to make sure that as you do, keep going here, make sure that as you're doing these shoulder glides is what they're called, that you're not shrugging up towards your ears. Don't bring your shoulders closer to your ears than they normally are. In fact, you can keep your chin tucked so that your neck is nice and long. And that's going to be a really important thing to keep in mind as we go through all of these posture correcting exercises, that we don't shrug those shoulders up, because that's going to really create a lot of unnecessary tension in your neck. Let's go one more here, pushing the ground away, splitting and spreading those shoulder blades apart, and then untuck your toes and sit all the way back on your heels and sit up straight. Okay, so now I want you to place your left hand right out in front of your body, but keeping your hips down on your heels. Left hand is in the middle. Reach your right arm open with your thumb leading and guiding that motion. So these are big thoracic rotations. So we're trying to get a big rotational action through your rib cage here. Once again, keeping that shoulder blade down. We can exhale here at the top. It's not enough to really just try to squeeze your shoulder blades back. We've got to open up your thoracic spine too, or basically this section of your torso, the section of your spine that's attached to your rib cage. So to experience good posture, very good posture, we got to mobilize that section. Let's switch sides here. So right hand plants out in front of your knees, left arm reaches. That thumb is always leading the motion here. When you spin your thumb backwards like that, it really helps to keep that shoulder blade down, making sure it's not rising up towards your ears. Let's do a few more on this side. These ones always feel so good. This one here is a really great go-to if you ever need something just quick in the moment to reset that posture. Great job. Okay, so from here, we're gonna climb all the way face down. So we're laying all the way flat on the floor. And in this position, you're naturally going to want to kind of arch at your back. We don't want to get your lower body involved too much here with these movements. So see if you can tuck your tailbone down and squeeze your glutes. That will create a good anchor at your hips so that we can work on your upper body without getting too much work at the hips. So lay your forehead down on the floor. Arms are on either side of your head like a W, and all we're going to do is pick that W up, squeezing right between the shoulder blades. Go ahead and release it down. Let's go 4 more, just like that. Pick it up and squeeze, and release it down. Pick it up, squeeze. This time pull the elbows down towards your hips and set it down. Do that again. Pick it up and squeeze. Slide the elbows towards your hips, just like 1 inch. Set it down. 1 more, just like that. Pick it up, squeeze shoulder blades together, slide the elbows down towards your hips, and set it back down. This time we're going to do the same motion, but we're going to do a second part to it. So we're going to pick the elbows up, pick the arms up like a W, and then we're going to lift the head and just the top half of your chest and set it all down as one unit. Let's do that again. Lift the arms like a W, and then lift your head and lift your chest. But see if you can keep your chin tucked. I don't want you to lift your head forward. That might activate your neck muscles just a little too much. Release it back down. Do that again. Lift the W with your arms. Lift your head, but keep your chin tucked. And now lift your chest. Exhaling at the top. And release it down. Let's go 2 more just like that. This is a little extra. I know this is really activating those muscles, making them work hard. Once again, we're kind of undoing all of that rounding position that you find yourself in so much that contributes to an entire torso that just does not feel good. Now that we're in this position, place the elbows down. We got to do a nice passive stretch next. So arms are parallel. Elbows are out in front of you. You may be familiar with this. It's called the cobra. So press your fingertips open. Again, let me remind you that you need to tuck your tailbone down. We don't want a lot of arching at your low back, but we can think about lifting your sternum. Keep picking your sternum up, just the front of your rib cage. At the same time, you're lifting your sternum. Keep your shoulder blades down your back. Tuck your chin in just a little bit more. You might feel those upper back muscles working really hard. Without moving your arms, see if you can just almost with your imagination, just drag your chest forward through your arms. Nothing's going to be moving, but we're creating that tension there that's really lifting your chest, pulling your shoulders down and back. Sternum is lifted, chin stays tucked. Let's hold this cobra a little bit, press into the floor a little bit more. One more deep breath in and exhale. And release it all the way down. Now the good part. My friend, go ahead and extend your arms all the way out to the side, creating this T. So your arms are directly out to the side. I want you to bring your right hand now close into your shoulder and spin your left shoulder open so that it's not rolled down onto the floor. Really try to spin that shoulder open. And then after that, we're going to open your body, kind of rolling it open. That right hip is now on top of the left hip. You can let your head relax down on the floor. And what we're doing here, just by rolling your arm open, rolling your body open, we're getting that stretch deep across the front of that left shoulder. Big deep breaths. If you want to, if you're feeling very open and mobile today, go ahead and take your right foot and just step it behind your body. If you can't quite get there, not a big deal. Be gentle with this one because you do have the weight of your body on that left shoulder. One more deep breath in. And release it. We're going to unroll leg first if you've got that open, then roll your hips down flat towards the floor and extend your right arm out on the floor once again. Okay, so now we're going to go the other way. So bring your left arm in close to your body. We're going to slowly roll your body open. You can let your head lay on the floor. See if you can keep that right shoulder blade down your back. If this is going well, you can take that top leg, step it behind you, and now you just have the weight of your body helping you open. It's a very passive stretch where you're just using the load from your body to contribute to the stretch. We're not holding for time, we're holding for big deep breaths. Got one more of my most favorite stretches ever coming up next. Let's slowly roll out of this the same way we got into it. So foot first, put your foot back if you had that behind you. Roll your hips down very carefully. Sometimes when you find yourself in those super deep stretches, you have to ease out of them carefully because your muscles are kind of guarding and holding. So final move. We're going to make our way onto the side of your body. We call this a hook lying position, kind of in a fetal position. Make sure that your knees are all the way up to hip height because we don't want to feel this at your lumbar spine, okay? So this top knee is going to slide forward about an inch further forward than your bottom knee. Hands are going to stack one on top of the other like you've got alligator arms, all right? Let's take this top arm engage the movement or initiate the movement by sliding that top arm forward as far as you can, and then without your knees moving or shifting at all, lay this arm out behind you. If you can touch your knuckles down, great. If not, no big deal. Get it close, and then we're gonna bring it all the way back. We're gonna do this a couple times on this side. Reach forward as big as you can to start, and then lay the arm out behind you like an open book. Make sure your knees do not shift around. Exhale at your most open position. Bring it all the way back. Last one on this side. This time we're gonna hang out in that position and just breathe on it. This is the part that feels so good. Exhale and let gravity take over. You might find that your knuckles are nowhere near close to the floor, and that's totally okay. The more you do this, the more those muscles will release their tension, and one of these days those knuckles are gonna touch. You'll be like, how did I get there? It feels so good. This is one of those motions that instantly transfers to having incredible posture and feeling far more open across your chest, across your shoulders, and not so rounded and kind of hunch forward. Okay, let's gently pull it back to where we started, and then we need to do the other side. So I'm actually gonna flip around so that I can still face you. So on this side now, knees are stacked. Once again, keep those knees pulled up to hip level. If they're, like I said, if they're lower than hip level, you might accidentally twist at your low back, the lumbar spine. We don't want that. So pull your knees up to hip level. Have this top knee slightly more forward than the bottom knee. Hand is stacked on top of the other hand. We're gonna initiate the movement by reaching that arm forward as far as you can, and then lay it open behind you. We'll do 2 first, keeping it moving, so kind of dynamic. Exhale, and bring it all the way back. Do this again. Reach it forward as far as you can. Lay it open behind you with an exhale. And reach it all the way back to where it started. This last one, we're gonna hang out in it for a few deep breaths, initiate that motion forward. Exhale and let gravity take over. Letting that arm lay open. You're gonna notice every time you exhale, that's when your muscles are more likely to go limp, to release their tension, to stop guarding, to stop holding. Let's hang out here for one more deep breath. You might even feel the ground all of a sudden. And then we're gonna slowly, slowly bring it back to where we started. And then go ahead and rise back up on your knees. Good job. I hope this felt so good. If you love this routine, I've got another one that's really similar to that. I'm gonna make sure to link it above. And hey, go leave a comment below. Let me know how this routine felt for you today.